Hello, my name is Stella, and today I'll be reporting with my co-host, Musin.
Hi, my name is Musin Azman, and together we're reporting live from Malaysia about why Malaysia should decriminalize abortion.
And now we'll be passing on to Charlie for the first segment of this newscast.
Today we'll be talking about how the censorship of abortion in media in Malaysia is very detrimental to how people view the procedure itself, as well as how people would view the topic on its own. The idea of how abortion isn't actually bad for your health, but can actually help people who are victims of sexual assault and rape in their daily life. The government of Malaysia has always censored the topic of abortion or anything related to sex because they are afraid that it will damage the integrity of the people when it comes to their relationship to their religion, when it actually does not and could actually help them be better in worshipping said religion. The government has been doing this by producing false information and are completely erasing this topic from media as a whole. They have been depicting it as something that would actually damage the health and well-being of a victim of rape and sexual assault when in fact it does not, and they have been doing so by producing media that has been more towards anti-abortion than pro-abortion. An example of them erasing this topic from media is when they had suspended the Twitter account of Red Talks, an organization where they have been talking and making seminars about women's health, and they had suspended this account because they had been posting positive information about women's health and abortion. This type of censorship, especially, is against the people's rights to their freedom of speech and the people's rights to learn. In an article by David L. Hudson Jr. in April of 2019, he states that the government cannot censor accounts that are on private company websites such as Twitter because it is not their right and it is privately owned. It is not owned by the government. So for Malaysia's government to suspend the Red Talk Twitter account, it is against their freedom of speech and the people's rights to learn. And by this type of censorship and erasing of these types of information does not give proper resources to people to learn. Without proper resources, people cannot understand or cannot comprehend how abortion is actually really, really, really helpful towards people who are victims of sexual assault and rape. People who are victims of these types of assaults will have a better standard of living because they do not have to and will never have to carry the burden of having offspring that has been a result of their trauma. And it will actually help their mental health and well-being because they can overcome that trauma easier without having a reminder, which is said offspring around them 24/7. In this case, Malaysia should actually understand. In this case, Malaysia should actually change their mind and their mentality towards abortion because this can actually help their people have a better standard of living, and they should be actually pro-abortion and pro women's healthcare.
That was a really great segment from Charlie, and now I'll be passing it off to Musin.
Our next point will be by Anis as she'll explain the increase of baby dumping.
Hi, greetings. I'm Anis. I'm going to talk about the increased number of baby dumping in Malaysia and why Malaysia should decriminalize abortion. According to the New Straits Times published by Azura Abbas, June 18, 2019, between 2014 and 2018, police in Malaysia has reported 570 cases of baby dumping, according to the Deputy Prime Minister, Datuk Wan Azizah Wan Ismail. Dr. Wan Azizah, who is also the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, has blamed the rising crisis on teenage pregnancy and unmarried children. Now, according to the police figures, between January and May of 2019, there were 13 cases of baby dumping in Johor alone, 11 cases in Selangor, and 7 cases in Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia has seen an increased number of baby dumping with 103 cases in 2014, 111 cases in 2015, 115 cases in 2016, 120 cases in 2017, and 128 cases in 2018. LP Tyler has published the health benefits of legal abortion on the website pumped.government. There, he mentioned that using conservative data, the comparison of mortality rates reveals that terminating a pregnancy through legally induced abortion is 7 times safer than carrying the pregnancy to term. Legal abortion also results in low morbidity rates as legal abortions became widely available in the US. The numbers of women treated for septic abortion complications in emergency rooms and hospitals decreased markedly. And according to the reports made by the Students' University Malaya, there is plenty of evidence that abortion is on the rise in Malaysia. And this is why Malaysia should decriminalize abortion. Furthermore, many physicians are uninformed about abortion rules. In their study, they have discovered that a significant number of medical students are still ignorant of abortion laws. Medical students' attitudes toward abortion can influence the provision of safe abortions as future doctors, but little is known about their views on abortion. In the West, a number of studies on students' attitudes toward abortion have been performed. There has been a research like this. There has not been a research like this in Malaysia, as far as we know. With that being said, abortion should be taught in medical schools for future doctors to ensure that the rates of baby dumping will decrease in Malaysia, and the health of women will be fully taken care of. Furthermore, Malaysia should make abortion legal and as an awareness, as this will help those pregnant women explore their options and not dump their baby. And it is also for the health of the women and the baby as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Anis. That was very insightful. Now we have Stella. She will divulge us into the plight that rape victims face.
Of rape or women who simply do not wish to have children should be allowed access to abortion. This is because it is their fundamental human right. By making abortions illegal and by making them harder to attain does not decrease the chances of women seeking out an abortion. Instead, it creates a dangerous market for those who wish to exploit vulnerable young women through back alley abortions. Back alley abortions often are done by unlicensed practitioners, and as such, they do not have an appropriate post-abortion care, thus resulting in thousands of deaths per year. According to Lisa Haddad, who is affiliated with the Department of Maternal Fetal Medicine at Harvard Medical School, roughly 68,000 women die from unsafe abortions a year. Additionally, women who survive unsafe abortions will most likely suffer from future health consequences. These statistics highlight the importance of access to abortion so that women do not resort to these dangerous methods. Although Malaysia is a religious country, it is stated in the Penal Code Act 574, Section 321, that abortion services are legal only if it is a threat to a woman's health, or if the pregnancy would pose a threat to the woman's mental and physical health. However, Malaysia's conservative society would most likely shun women who seek abortion, regardless of the reason. Social prejudice and religious backlash will cause thousands of women to risk their lives through unsafe abortions. So, how do safe abortions work? Well, the most common type of safe abortion is called the suction procedure. So, during the suction procedure, the medical examiners will first examine the uterus, which is right over here, using a medical instrument meant to separate your vaginal walls so that they could see through the inside of your vagina. And third, they would inject a numbing medication into or near your cervix, which is over here. And they would insert a thin tube into the vagina through the cervix, and they would use a small handheld machine to remove pregnancy tissues from the uterus. And once the procedure is over, there will be a recovery room for patients so that they may leave when they're feeling better. Now, although this is incredibly safe and quite simple, it would only take about 5 to 10 minutes to be done. According to Founders Annable 2017, there are 3 common methods women use to induce unsafe abortions. The first one is self-induced using sharp or long objects like sticks, wires, or knitting needles. The women would insert an object into the uterus through the cervix and forcefully attempt to rupture the membrane. The second method is induced through herbal teas or poisonous substances such as hair dyes or bleach. These are either taken in orally or vaginally. Now, the third method is quite common in Asia. It is to massage a woman's abdomen forcefully or to apply severe pressure to the abdomen by kneading. Sometimes, if women are extremely desperate, they may attempt to induce an abortion by jumping off floors or a flight of stairs. Now I'll be moving on to Musin as he explains more into the connection between abortion and Malaysia, specifically its connotations to overpopulation.
Hello everyone, my name is Musin and today I will be talking a little bit about abortion and how it connects to overpopulation. The abortion law came about in Malaysia under the British Empire's 1871 Penal Code, where abortion is criminalized under all circumstances except two. One, if it is to save the woman's life, or if it is to preserve the health and mentality of said woman. However, despite of this, many women these days face much social stigma from their doctors and nurses, mainly due to their doctors' personal beliefs. This comes about as Malaysia is a religiously active country and abortion goes against a lot of what they believe in, as well as the mindset of the traditional conservationist kind. A study from BMC Public Health undertaken in Penang, where 41 women aged 21 till 39 were taken to explore the experiences women goes through in regards to abortion in Malaysia. This study shows us that all of these women faced varying difficulties in regards to finding information to abortion and even finding the services that comes for abortion. All of these factors lead to the woman at the end of the day to not abort their babies. And less abortion means more babies, which leads me to my next point, overpopulation. Overpopulation comes when there are too many people in a country to the point where the society deems that it must be managed somehow. And with overpopulation comes its own drawbacks as well. As Earth only has finite resources, the more people there are, the more we have to share. And this means scarcity in water, food, as well as the need for housing will increase as there are more people in the world. And to make do with more of these housing, the existing people would have to clear space in the forest, which leads to the destruction of many biodiverse groups, as well as the acceleration of global warming. This data up here, taken from an interview with Frank Gottmark with the Overpopulation Project, published on January 2020, it shows that as the population increases, so does the carbon dioxide emissions. It rises to dangerously high levels, which spells doom for the Earth's climate. In the Middle East, there are many wars being fought over water and renewable sources. And as there are more people in a society, we would have to make do with whatever scarce resources we have left. If the population continues increasing, then violence can break out at any moment. With our recent experience with the COVID-19 outbreak, we know how difficult it is to socially distance ourselves as long as there are many people around. It is very difficult around. And this is one of the reasons why many experts claim that we are entering an age of increased outbreak activity. All these disasters can be avoided if women had the freedom to abort their babies if they so wish to do so. And because of that, overpopulation can be controlled, resources can be shared amongst the many if abortion was free.